Roll the corn. ERG, ERG, ERG. ERG, what's up, bro? The coin. Yo, Humble, what's up, bro? Put the coin in the chat. Drop where you're from in the chat. Now we got to break down. Now we got to break down where all this stuff come from. Where all of these deities come from. Where all of this spirituality come from. Where all the knowledge come from. That's what we got to get into now. KB Ty Merritt, what up? Mad Jack, Virginia, what up? Pennsylvania, Houston, Louisiana. God's will, what up? Spirituality, Baltimore, what up? North Click, OG Big Chris, OO Big Chris, what up? South Carolina, what up? Now we got to break down where most of the spirituality comes from. Where did your ancestors get the spirituality from? And what does it mean in context with agriculture? That's what I want to show y'all today. This is very, very important to the history of our people. Roll the coin. This is very, very important to the history of our people. Agricultural spiritualism, or spirit of agriculture, refers to the idea that the concept of food production and consumption and the essential spiritual nature of humanity are linked. It teaches the spirituality inherent to human consciousness. It's perhaps a product of accessible to all cultivating. The association with agriculture includes such agricultural metaphors as cultivate in language, mystics across history, right? Let me hop up. Now, what they are saying is people who worked their field, who really needed their crop to come through to for their families and for their culture and to build their civilizations, got spiritual. They got very, very spiritual by agriculture spiritualism. And we got to understand that a lot of the spiritual stuff comes from people working with the earth for agriculture, and they got spiritual with the earth. That's where it comes from. Somebody asked me where did the spiritualism come from, and I got to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about, because it comes from working with the earth, getting spiritual with nature to feed your ancestors. I mean, to feed your descendants over time. That's where that come from. And I'm going to get into the deities and all that too. Agriculture was the preoccupation of the majority of the population of the world at the time. Major scriptures of continuing religions were compiled. The approach that agriculture takes to creating the optional conditions for production of its harvest at the same as recommended by traditional religions for producing insight or wisdom. So by using agriculture, you get wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You learn, you trial and error. It makes you wise, and you document this for your descendants so they can learn from your mistakes down the line. This is where Hebrew comes from. This is where Hebrew comes from. They documented their mistakes while working with the earth, and they wrote it down when it worked, and they passed it down to their descendants. And that's where Paleo-Hebrew comes in. That the people who wrote Paleo-Hebrew documented the stars, what happened with the agriculture. They learned trial and error. They got wise over a long period of time. They got wise over a long period of time, and they wrote that down, and that transformed into Hebrew teachings. That's how they learned how to be virtuous and patient and things like that. But if it's not in your bloodline, you won't understand it. You will not understand it. By understanding spirituality, agriculture spiritualism addresses the question regarding ethics in agriculture. Ethics in agriculture. It seems as a method for communication, building a relationship between the spirit of the land and the spirit of the people through an everyday practice. So you become connected to the land. You become connected to the land through agriculture. You become connected to your people through agriculture. Now, that turns into a whole nother thing, people. That turns into a whole nother thing. That turns into mad spirituality around the world. It turns into deities. It turns into all type of things around the world. Agriculture is the driving force in everyday aspect of living on and off the earth resources. Agriculture was derived from animalistic and natural forces we feel as humans in order to control the acquisition, the use of energy. To control the use of energy. Any actions by the feeder which increases the yield of the food in a given area over the natural yield turns the particular plant or animal being fostered into secondary energy trap for the feeder, right? The one who then utilizes the additional energy produced will be considered with our location, being a relative and wherever, So really, it really is just telling you about you learn the energy of the earth off of agriculture. That's where you learn the ley lines at. That's where you learn the power spots, the good spots to plant crops, the good energy spots where they put mounds at. And you learn that through agriculture, and you get spiritual through agriculture. Many agriculture rituals that have spiritual origins. Agricultural rituals have spiritual origins, such as European Christians and pagans drew their methods from myths, imagery, and ritual practice from ancient religions, Greece, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Ireland, often contemporary, such as Hinduism, Afro-Caribbean religion. So what it's telling you is spirituality for agriculture turned into major religions. Spirituality for agriculture turned into major religions. That's what I want y'all to understand. Our people got spiritual working in their field. Right? Let me see. Agriculture, the environment, and the key spiritual nature of humanity are connected. Agriculture, the environment, and the key spiritual nature of humanity are connected. Right? Food, quality of food, meditation, experiences in the wilderness, spiritual practices and values into agriculture and farming to achieve the most efficient food production while also proving to be sustainable. Roll the corn. Now, the outlook of agriculture as a whole, purposeful in connecting, right, the essence of spiritual roots to modern day farming practices, uphold family's fundamental biological nature while implementing sustainability, right? Practicing agricultural spiritualism Farmers value altruistic goals like peace and happiness. Peace and happiness comes from agriculture, farming. You became peaceful, patient, and happy because you learned how to be patient with crops. Therefore, you learn how to be patient in life, and you get spiritual with that, with the earth. We learn to pursue peace and happiness rather than success. See what I'm saying? Success gonna come anyway, but you rather want the peace and happiness. This is virtue. This is virtue. We seek harmony among things, economic, social, spiritual, maximum. So it's showing you that these people who are patient farmers and they learn from the land and the earth and the agriculture teaches you to be patient. It teaches you how to be humble. It teaches you how to be virtuous. How to sometimes the crop don't come in right, and you have to eat that, and you have to keep fighting, and it builds up the character of the people. It builds up the character of the people after you work this land. You see what I'm saying? And it makes you honest. It makes you straightforward, virtuous. You learn things every day by sticking your hands out there in that dirt, and it takes you through trial and error until you become a better person just off working with the earth every day. That's why this is so powerful. That's why this is powerful. Let me see. Now, agriculture spiritualism seeks relationship with the land through spirituality. In various cultures, depleting in land resources for food. Spirituality is valued. Agricultural spiritualism could serve as a bridge between the lack of connection between the two ideas, right? Agricultural spiritualism incorporates morals into the practice that could address the food crisis problem. So this teaches people morals. This teaches people's morals. The earth, the sky, the plants, you waiting your turn for the harvest. You are being patient. You are being morally. The earth, you are learning from nature the way nature is supposed to teach you. Nothing comes fast. You learn it at a pace to where you are patient, and it teaches you morals. This is where the Hebrew teachings come from. The earth, the crops, the sky. Moral, in tune with nature, not bothered, not acting like a hunter-gatherer, not, it's teaching you patience and virtue. That's what it's doing. That's where the spirituality first comes from, people. Thailand, moral rice. They call Thailand, and they call it moral rice. Connects farmers with spirituality through Buddhism while practicing organic farming. We all know Buddhism came from America. The people who done the first Buddhas were melanated people, spiritually growing crops and meditating. They were meditating. The purpose of the method to cleanse the farmer's spirit so the rice is purified and the consumers are consuming both spiritually and agriculturally purified rice. Now, let's go into something else. When your food these days is made by GMO or it's made without love, the food is made without spirituality, it's mass produced, and it becomes harmful for our people. Now do you get it? All of this stuff go together. When they start putting the GMO corn and the GMO beans and the GMO chickens and all of that, now it's not good for our people because it's not made organically out of love and nature and spiritually. That's how they take some of our power too, bro. That's how they take our power too. That's why our great grandmama and them was in so much good shape, eating food that was not touched off the land. They lived to be 100. They was up my grandma was up walking around 90 years old, bro. Now they hurt you internally with the bad food. That's why it's like that. That's why they want the crop field. You get the crop field. Think about this. Think about this. You get the crop field. You take away people's spirituality to the land. That's one thing. Two, you don't nourish that culture like they once was nourished. That breaks people from their culture. See what I'm saying? They know that, people. They know that. So that's why I want to explain to y'all how spirituality and agriculture go together. The people got spiritual out there in that field, man. I'm telling you what I know. They didn't feel nothing till they got interconnected with that land that they worked for years. That now it gets spiritual out there in that field. You don't just get spiritual just walking up the street doing nothing. Something made you spiritual. Something made you believe in a higher being. And when your crop came in after you worked that field, that made you believe in a higher being. Now you can feel it in your bones. You can feel it when you walk out there in your crop field. This is what the ancient people done. This is where spirituality and certain religion stemmed off of this teaching. That's why our great grandmama and them was farming, just putting little farms together, out there picking off food, out there eating off food, and all of that. That is Hebrew teachings, people. See, people try to take Hebrew teachings to the Bible. No, Hebrews are the people who became moral and virtuous from farming. And they took pride in feeding their people. That made them more powerful spiritual people. Now you get where I'm coming from with this? Paleo Hebrew was written from people doing that over thousands of years to teach their descendants the spirituality of agriculture, the spirituality of nature, the spirituality of connecting with your people. You connect with your people in that field. That's where they come from. That's where all they come from. So once the land is gone, you break that spirituality to the land and to your people. You split everybody up. And then you split up the food, the crop that your people put love into from your body. Now you eating BS. Your spirituality gone because you're not connected to your land that your ancestors farmed for hundreds of years no more. Now they break you from your culture. They send you to their schools. They take their land, take your land, take your land. They try to become spiritual off a land that was made spiritual by your people. Now they put houses on mounds. Now they living on the plantation. Now they sucking up energy from the spirituality that your ancestors put in that field for over hundreds and maybe even thousands of years. Send us to McDonald's. They sent us to McDonald's. They out there got the largest machines ever knocking down corn in the Midwest. While they live plentiful off the land. They got all the cattle out there, all the crops. They don't need nothing. They got milk, eggs, corn, beans. They got meat. They got everything they need right there on their land. And the government is funding them millions and millions of dollars to run that farm. That was never theirs. They win on all ends, people. They win on all ends. Why they break you from your culture? Because your connection to the land is spiritual. See, this the part of the game that nobody want to teach. This the part of the game that nobody want to teach. What makes us spiritual people? What makes us powerful souls? Our ancestors connected to that land and to the mounds and to their crop fields. That disconnects our spirituality, people. When it's taken and disconnect, now you are not nourished by your own kind no more. You are nourished by a kind that cares nothing about you. See the difference? See the difference? Got us eating all this bad food while they living off the ancestors' crops that they grew for thousands of years. Roll the corn. Something else, it's a couple more I want to show y'all. Let me see. So this is kind of just talking about agriculture, turning into, Christianity, all this type of stuff. The teachings come from agriculture. The morals and the scriptures come from agriculture. Let me see what else I got. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. There's also a strong religious connection with agriculture within the pagan groups who believe that their connection with the spirits could create a positive relationship with the land. The pagans double back after the original people. Now they want the spirituality, the positive relationship with the land that they took, because they saw the spirituality with the land when the original people was there. So they double back. They put their pagan stuff on top of the ancient land, and then they want to take the positive relationship that you had with the land and get it and use it for their purpose. They want your spirituality, people. They want your crops, your land, and the spiritual power of that crop field. Do you feel me? Let me say this again. Let me say this again. These people come in not spiritual at all. They come in not spiritual at all, people. They are hunter-gatherers. They don't have no spirit. They don't have no feeling for nothing. They just trying to eat. They pull up on your ancestors. We out there singing, dancing. We eating together every night. We eating the best food on the earth from the best continent on the earth. We are well nourished. We got the most beautiful rivers, fish, most beautiful wild game in the world in the southeast of America, people. The best deer, the best panthers running around, jaguars running around. It's beautiful in the southeast in ancient times. Mississippi River is flowing all clear. The Gulf of Mexico is beautiful. The Chattahoochee is beautiful. The Ogeechee River is beautiful. Crops and irrigation coming off of these beautiful rivers is making paradise over here, people. Don't downplay America. Before, we got all of these raggedy ass buildings and all of these highways and all of these tearing up these forests. This is the most beautiful, plentiful land on the face of the earth. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. We see these places with these ocean views. These ocean views are beautiful, but you can't irrigate nothing off the ocean, people. There's salt water. Salt water gonna kill every crop you got. You run that salt water to irrigation. You need fresh water from the earth or fresh water rivers, carbonated water from the earth. This is the best water to grow crops with. This is what America has that everybody don't have. We got natural water sources. We got hot springs, cold springs, natural rivers, 100% oxygen in the water. We got the most fertile land. We are growing, feeding our people with the best crops on the face of the earth. Our land is made to grow these crops, right? This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This is just how nature wanted it to be. North America and Canada and South America, Central America, just the best places to grow crops. The weather is right. The rivers are right. The fresh water is right. We got natural springs in Arkansas, natural springs all up the Mississippi River, natural ponds, natural lakes. We got all this over here. Ain't no natural lake in the middle of Mesopotamia, people. It's the deserts. Ain't no water source under the ground in the desert. Can't tap into no water on the Nile, bro. You got to get it from the Nile. Over here, you can get it from underground. It'll pop right up. Let's keep going. So, connection with spirits would create positive relationship. Pagans start putting pagan objects on ancient culture because they want to connect with this positive relationship with the land. They know it's not their land. They know this is not their land, so they want to try to connect to the land, but it's not their land. They want to connect, but it's not their land. It's not going to connect. It's not compatible. It's not compatible, people. Roll the coin. Now, historically, Buddhist communities also face hardship when their focus shifted to materialistic matters. Here we go. Now we finna get deep. The focus shifted to materialistic matters. This why the dude came to me talking about his bills. This what you talking about right here, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with virtue. This ain't got nothing to do with ancient culture. This ain't got nothing to do with you being spiritual. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Take your bills over there and worry about that yourself. Everybody got to do it everybody do their bills on their own. That's personal. But once you transfer over to materialistic matters, you lose your connection to the land. Now you connected to a car. Now you connected to a 30-year mortgage. Now you are connected to fashion, European clothes, and now you connected to European hair and European makeup. Now you are connected to a whole nother thing, and they got you right where they want you. They got you right where they want you because they control the materialistic side of the world. They run that business. They know that if they control the materialistic side and then go control the land, they win all the way round, right? Now watch this. Hardship shifted to materialistic matters, yet were prosperous and happy during times of agriculture focus. This is also a myth grounded in, which explains how Buddhist people were able to grow and harvest food easily until they became clouded by a selfish desire to control nature. You cannot control nature. You got a big head. You got the ego. Now things start going bad because you think you can control nature. You think you focus on materialistic matters and you start to go bad, bro. Everything started to go bad. Our ancestors know we cannot control nature. That's why we become spiritual with it. All we can do is become spiritual with the nature. We cannot control it, people. They think they can control it. They think they can control everything, the water, the crops, the earth. They want to control the sky with clouds and CERN and creating thunderstorms. They want to control everything. These people are the mark of the beast. Let me say that again. When you try to control nature, you become the mark of the beast. You are the beast on the earth. The people of nature know we don't try to control nature. The people who are not of nature want to control nature. That makes them a problem for the earth because it's not naturally occurring no more. They are making things occur, and they're going to have to pay for that one day. Yes. They're going to have to pay for that one day. And it's coming. So this is what I want to explain to y'all. What's happening out here, bro. We think that that crop field and that land and spirituality got something to do with a book, or spirituality got something to do with a preacher or a church or metaphysical stuff. Deities. No. Spirituality got something to do with you, the earth, and the sky. That's it. That's it. Everything else is an add-on to that. Everything else is an add-on to you, the earth, the sky. Roll the coin. That's the real teaching of this stuff. All right, let's get into this. The essence of agriculture, see if I can read this, with conversations of solar energy through living process of photosynthesis. The food that sustains our lives comes from other living things. If life is sacred, then food and farming must be sacred as well, people. If life is sacred on this planet, food and farming must be sacred as well. Throughout nearly all of human history, both food and farming were considered sacred. Farmers prayed for the rain, for protection from pests, for bountiful harvest. People gave thanks to God for their daily bread. This where all this other teaching come from. The people who taught this are the original Hebrew. They had no idols. They were showing respect to what fed them, which was the earth and the sky. That's it. That's it. Now, I want to show y'all this to show y'all this. That's where the solar energy comes from. Without solar, that's why the sun is so put on all the artifacts. Without the sun, they know, intellectual people know, crops can't grow without the sun. Everything dies without the sun, bro. Screenshot it. Intelligent people know everything dies without the sun, people. Everything. Animals, us, crops, the soil dies. Everything dies without the sun. So why would they call our people sun worshipers? Devil sun worshipers. When they know the sun powers everything on the face of this earth. If the sun don't come up for 3 days, the earth is over with, people. If the sun don't come up, it's going to be negative 100 degrees and it's over. Everybody going to freeze to death. But they play with our intelligence like this is some type of pagan sun devil worship. No. The sun is nature. The sun is a part of 75% of nature. So how would you call that evil to show respect to the sun? How would you call that evil? Because if it weren't for the sun, we wouldn't even be here. That's a fact. Big facts. So when you see people, intelligent people not worshiping, but paying homage to the sun, which creates photosynthesis for the plants we eat, and the plants the animals eat that other people eat in the world too. Photosynthesis feeds us and the animals. And the sun feeds the plants. So nature all is intertwined together, people. You take one component out of it that's large, like the sun, and it's over. 72 hours is over. It's a wrap. whole earth gonna turn to a big frozen ball, a snowball. It's over. It gonna be so cold. Ain't nothing else coming on. The car ain't coming on. The heat ain't coming on. Ain't nothing coming on. It's too cold. You got to show respect to what powers the earth, people. What makes the vegetation come back? The sun. Let's keep going. The time to reclaim the sacred in food and farming may well be at hand. The trends that have desecrated farming may have run their course. There is a growing skepticism concerning the claim that more stuff, be it larger houses, fancier cars, more clothes, or more food, will make us more happy and satisfied with life. They want to switch out your connection to the planet with more stuff. Do you feel me? More stuff. Nothing that is real to this earth that can actually help your people. They just want you to get more stuff and chase houses and cars and clothes and go buy the $1,000 steak. Will make us more happy and satisfied with life. This is growing evidence that when we took out the sacred, we took out the substance and have left our lives shallow and empty. Humanity is beginning to ask new questions. The old questions of how can I get more is being replaced with questions of how can I be more? That's fire. That's fire. Some people are saying, how can I get more? And some people are saying, how can I be more? Do you understand that? The how can I get more people are not virtuous. They would do anything to get more. The people, how can I be more, is trying to learn the old culture of connecting back to nature and the land and being virtuous and a great person. It's two different people out here, people. We all know who the people is who say, how can I get more? We already know who they are. You can tell it in they walk, they talk. I want to get money. I'm getting money. I'm getting money. Oh, hold on. Big money. I just want the money. No.